Okay, everybody. So here we are with my next video, which we are going to do the assignments. This is my what assignments are going to be done this week and how do you do them video. So here we are in week 5. Now, you've already seen the videos and you've already read the various charts I have about this week's topics. So it's kind of a continuation of last week, okay? How we started getting into the keyboard, whole steps, half steps, accidentals and enharmonics, accidentals, whole and half steps. And of course, you've seen the video lecture that did that review. So let's get right to the assignments and how to do the different assignments. Let's start here. You're going to do Show It, Chapter 2, Assignment 2.3. So let's take a look at it up here. Let's Show It 2.3. Now again, I'm just going to get you kind of started on this. Show you how these work. 2.3. All right, so this has to do with again, still understand the concept of enharmonics. The idea that one pitch can have the same name. So I've got my little piano here. So again, as an example, we have a C. If we use an accidental of a sharp, this is now C sharp. So this black key could be called C sharp because it's C up a half step. But it could also be called D flat. The flat lowers a half step. So here's up a half step, here's down a half step. So this tone can be called C sharp, and its enharmonic name is D flat. And it also has one other enharmonic name. This tone could also be B double sharp. Why B double sharp? Because here's B. Go up one half step. You could also call this B sharp. Go up one more, go the second half step, and this could also be called B double sharp. So this tone has 3 enharmonic names: C sharp, D flat, or B double sharp. That's an enharmonic. Let's do one more enharmonic. Let's say this guy. This guy is E. So's that one. So's this one. So this is E. This note, enharmonic, could also be F flat because it's F lowered one half step. A lot of students think that the flats and sharps have to be these black keys. Nope. This E could also be F flat. There's F flat. And it could also be D double sharp because I went up twice. So this one note has 3 enharmonic names: E, F flat, and D double sharp. And again, why 3 different names? It's all about context. How are we using them in terms of scales, chords, melodic movement? Okay, there's correct spellings. So when we come here to our homework, this says match each pitch on the left with an enharmonic equivalent on the right. So this is, let's take a look at this. This E flat, what else can we call E flat? Well, look at a keyboard. Here's E flat. It looks like we could also call it D sharp. So we go to our homework, and that E flat could also be called D sharp. What could F flat be called? You can look at a keyboard. Some people need a keyboard, some people just kind of know it. But look at a keyboard. Here's F. Here's F flat. We went down one half step. F flat could also be called E. So you go to the homework. F flat is also called E. C sharp. Here's C. There's C sharp. C sharp could also be D flat. See? And finally, we see that B is C flat. Let's look at the keyboard. Here's B, but it's also C lowered a half step. This note, B, is also C flat. So we come here, and there we go. Perfect. Let's do one more of these. C sharp could be. There's C sharp. There's D flat. It could be D flat, which we had in the previous one. What else can C be called? Here's C. It could also be called B sharp. B up a half step. And G flat. What can G flat be called? Here's C, D, E, F, G. There's G. G flat is here. G flat could also be an F sharp. G flat is also F sharp, which leaves us G sharp and A flat are the same sounding tone with a different name. Okay, and more of the same. Okay, so this is just more stuff with accidentals and half steps and enharmonics. Everything in this chapter is designed to make sure you understand that. Again, I'm not going to go through the rest of these because I want you guys to do them, and you'll answer the 17. Now, the other homework I've given you for this is chapter 2, listen and write. So this is going to be testing some of your musicianship skills. So here we go. This is the one I'm going to assign. Now you got to be able to listen. And basically what we have going on with this is developing your ears. So as you listen to the pitches, you're going to say, do you hear the pitch going up or down a half step? And then you say, well, if you hear it go up, you press that arrow. If you hear it go down, you press this arrow. And here's our keyboard. Here's up. It went up a half step. Here's another up. Here's another up. That's up a half step. But what is down a half step? That went down. This went down. And this one's down. So all you're doing on this part of the assignment is you listen and you say, you heard it go up or you heard it go down. Let's see. Ba, ba. What do you think? Hopefully you heard it go up. What's this one do? Listen again. Did you hear it go? It went down. Now, the most fundamental thing your musician's ears should be able to do is you can hear the direction. Okay, again, I'm not going to do all of these for you. You've got 31, but that's what these involve. And then there will be a couple that will say, do you hear whole steps or do you hear half steps? All right, and you can always kind of practice by doing something like this. Let's do some whole steps. That's a whole step. And again, go to onlinepianist.com if you need. I think it's a wonderful tool. Here's another whole step. How about a half step? Maybe go over here. Just pick random keys. Test your ears. That's a whole step. Whole step has something in between. That's a whole. It's a half. Sing them. There's your whole step. Half. The voice barely moves. Let's do one more. Here's a whole step down. Oh, here's a half step down. So this aspect of the ebook assignments are testing your ears. It's going to test you. Can you hear things move up or down? Can you recognize something moving a half step or whole step, etc., etc.? So again, I don't want to give you all the answers to that. You work on that. The other assignments are obviously our Tonesavvy assignments. Now the Tonesavvy, there's really nothing new. It's just more practice. More practice on recognizing notes, more practice on knowing where they are on the keyboard. And since you just learned alto and tenor clef last time, you'll do alto and tenor clef this week. Again, we don't let that go, okay? Because this is practicing your treble and bass. This is making sure you know your alto and tenor and you understand the concepts from last week. Let's do the rhythmic performance for week 5 and show you how that's going to work. What I did this time is we're continuing understanding how to read rhythms, and all I can say is this, you have to be able to count, okay? So if we're going click, 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 reading the rhythms makes no sense if we can't keep a steady beat in our head. So what I did with these assignments is I kind of custom them, and we had a new concept this week, the concept of the rest. So now I have included quarter rest, half rest, and the whole rest. All right. Now, if you want to practice these, remember, you don't have to hold. If you see a whole note or half note, you don't have to hold your mouse pad down for the whole thing. You can just kind of click the beginning of that note. Take out ties. The ties are just going to confuse you right now, so no ties. So this is what your assignment is going to look like this week. We're going to include the rest. Make sure we calibrate. Make sure we can count in a steady tempo. Here we go. Tap, 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 tap. All right, now, as we look at this, we have a rest in there. So how does this rhythm go with the rest? Well, we aren't going to do nothing here. So this music is to go 1 and 2, 3, 4. We're counting to 4. 1 and 2, 3, rest. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. You want to hear what that sounds like? 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I'll play that while I count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, rest. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Now sometimes I'll have students look at this and say, 1 and 2, 3, oh, just hang out for a while. Now I'll come in. You lost. You're already behind. 1 and 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. Now let's tap it. We hear the 4-beat intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, rest. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and. What does this do? 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear that? 2, 3, 4. I think we can do that. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, did I say wrong? I think I didn't do the clicking. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I also want to point something else out. Well, let me get to the rest. This is a good one to point out. This whole note. You got to make sure you're going 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll have students will rush that whole note. they'll ignore the click. So I'm going to purposely do this wrong. 1, 2, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. See? Why was I wrong? Because I wasn't in time. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's why every good music student should be practicing with the metronome so they learn how to play in time. If you're a music major out there and you are not practicing with the metronome, shame on you. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Let's find some with rest. Okay. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. This quarter rest occurs on beat 4. Let's hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you say I can tap it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, rest. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so, here, make sure this is a whole rest. So we rest for 4. So you got to make sure 4 clicks go by. So here's our intro. Okay, well, let's hear it. 1, 2, watch this. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Watch, see what happens? There's our intro. 1, 2, 3, 4 beats of silence. 1, 2, 3, and rest. And of course, you can now tap it. 1, 2, here we go. Rest, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and rest. So that's our rhythm performance this week. We're adding the rest. I've also given you remember guys, you can practice these as much as you want. If you feel you are weak on rhythm, well, how do you get better at something you're weak on? You practice. All right, I've also given you some pace notes. Continuing on in treble. I took out the ledger lines. If you practice, take out the ledger lines. I gave you a tempo of 10 this week. And here we go. What is it? What is it? We're in treble clef. That's an F. What's that? Figure it out. What's that guy? Every week, I will increase the tempo a little bit so you automatically start to recognize tones immediately. Again, anybody can sit and stare at a note for 20 minutes until they figure out what it is. It takes the true musician to understand, I know what that is. I don't have to think about it. I know what it is. I don't have to think about it. And that's where you want to get to. And how do you get there? You practice. You're doing that in treble and bass clef. Then I've given you some piano keys this week. Continued understanding of where these tones are. You recognize, hopefully, that is a G sharp. All right, there's a lot of G sharps. There's C, C, D, E, F, G. There's G sharp. That's a G sharp. That's a G sharp. That's a G sharp. That's a G sharp. Where is this G sharp? Well, middle C's here. See, middle C would be there. This G would be here, which means this G sharp is not here, it's way up here. Where is this G flat? Well, looks like that's right above middle C. So here's G flat. That's it. That's the one right above middle C. Where is that G sharp? This G sharp is here. Where's this A? Middle C's here. Hopefully you now know that's an A. But middle C's here. Well, that's just below middle C. CBA. That is super low. What is it? If you know how to read ledger lines, you'll understand that's an E. That's an E flat. That's E flat. That's E flat. That's E flat. That's E flat. Where is that E flat? Middle C's here. So the next E flat would be here. But that's even lower. So that's down here. So more recognition and many things are taken into play. The fact that you can read in treble and bass clef. The fact that you understand what the accidentals are. The fact that you know your specific octaves. You know where those are in the octave ranges and where they are located on the keyboard. They're all, many concepts are tied in to this exercise. And then the last homework I've given you is the note names, tenor and alto. All right, what is that? This is, remember, that's C. This is continued work. C, B, A, G, F. That's an F. C, that's C. Remember C? C, D, E. That's an E. What's this guy? Well, that's C. C, B, A, G. So once you know that C, you can pretty much find anything. And then I gave you alto clef. No ledger lines. Again, if you want to practice, take out your ledger lines. This is C. C, B, A, G. There's G. What's that? Here's C, right? C, that's B. And eventually, you just start recognizing what everything is. All right, so, folks, that is your homework. Have a good time, enjoyable time doing it. And any questions, feel free to email me. Have a good week.